Taylor Sheridan's writing and directing have always been fan favorites. Just look at his hit series Yellowstone. Yellowstone has its own craze, but now there's a new series to shoulder the craze with it. That is the Yellowstone prequel by Sheridan called 1923. Wait, is this news to you? Well, wake up, because we're all set to dive into the mystery of 1923. Let's go! 1923, the untold story of the Dutton family. Now, obviously, Yellowstone was packed to the brim with drama and feud. But if you think that was intense, just wait until you get into the series prequel, 1923. Taylor Sheridan has once again made his fans proud by bringing us one more chapter of the Dutton family's legacy. A legacy that has us all entrapped. And trust us, this one's an even wilder ride. And no, 1923 isn't just a history lesson to tell how the Yellowstone Ranch came to be. No, rather the series 1923 throws viewers straight into the heart of the action, where enemies surround you, survival is brutal, and frankly, the Duttons are always fighting like hell to hold on to their land. 1923 takes us back to the early 20th century, right before the Great Depression, when the American West was undergoing major changes. This explains why the show paints a picture of a time when ranchers were struggling to keep what was theirs, the government was tightening its grip, and uncertainty and danger were lurking around every corner. And of course, it's not a Taylor Sheridan classic without some power struggles, jaw-dropping betrayals, and obviously some explosive family drama. So what exactly does Taylor Sheridan want to show us through 1923? Well, beyond the shock and the shootouts, it's really just about resilience. The never-ending fight to protect and hold on to something that means everything. Once again, Sheridan is showing how the Duttons aren't to be messed with, because whether it's land, family, or love, the Duttons will do whatever it takes. The Duttons of 1923. Meet the family. All right, we all know the Duttons from Yellowstone, a family that's basically synonymous with power, drama, and major hardcore cowboy energy. But let's take a step back. Who was handling all the power struggles before them? Here enter the Duttons of 1923, the OG dynasty that built the empire we see in Yellowstone. And trust me, these folks are just as cutthroat as their modern-day descendants. The show gives us a front-row seat to a time when survival wasn't just about making money or outsmarting rivals. It was about literally fighting for your land with blood, sweat, and bullets. And speaking of bullets, let's talk about who's holding the guns in this family. Jacob Dutton, the head of the house. First up, we've got Jacob Dutton, who's played by none other than the Hollywood legend Harrison Ford. Yeah, Indiana Jones swapped out his whip for a cowboy hat and a whole lot of attitude. Jacob is basically the head of the family, the guy holding the entire Yellowstone Ranch together. And let's just say, this job isn't for everyone. He took over after his brother James Dutton from the show 1883 passed away, and now it's all his responsibility to keep the family legacy alive. And by keeping it alive, we mean fighting till his last breath to stop land thieves, corrupt officials, and basically anyone and everyone who dares to mess with the Dutton name. Sheridan gave Jacob that classic Western mentality. If you want to keep something, you'd better be ready to fight for it. Cara Dutton, the backbone of the ranch. Now, let's not get it twisted. Jacob may run the ranch, but Cara, she's the real power behind the Dutton name. Played by the iconic Helen Mirren, Cara is not just your average ranch wife. She's fierce, calculating, and, let's be real, probably even tougher than Jacob, if you ask us. Need proof? Literally one of the very first scenes of the series shows her straight up shooting a man in cold blood. No hesitation, no second thoughts, just bam! As if it was the perfect solution for the problem at hand. On top of all that, she's Irish, she's intense, and she's the kind of woman you do not want to cross. She'll patch up wounds one moment and load a shotgun the next. Basically, she's the definition of a ride or die. Spencer Dutton, the haunted soldier. Next, we've got Spencer Dutton, and oh boy, this guy's got some baggage. Spencer is Jacob's nephew, a World War I veteran who's seen some things. And by things, we mean the kind of trauma that makes a man leave everything behind and disappear into the African wilderness. Instead of coming home after the war, he becomes a big game hunter, tracking lions and pretty much constantly running from the ghosts of his past. But of course, the Dutton family needs him, and his journey back to Montana, it's anything but easy. Between shipwrecks, gunfights, and his own demons, Spencer's storyline is like an action movie within a Western drama. And let's not forget, Alexandra, the wild romantic. Spencer isn't traveling alone. Oh no, he's got Alexandra, a British socialite who literally ditches her aristocratic life to run off with him. Romantic? Absolutely. Terrible decision-making? Probably. Alexandra's idea of a thrilling adventure starts with champagne and boat rides, but falling for a Dutton? That is a whole other level of wild. She soon learns that life with Spencer isn't just about dreamy sunsets and whirlwind romance. Rather, it's actually about survival. But hey, she's tough, and if anyone can handle the chaos of the Dutton world, it's her. Jack Dutton, the next generation. Finally, we have Jack Dutton, the fiery cowboy of the family. He's got ambition, energy, and just the right amount of recklessness to make things interesting. Jack is at this weird crossroads. He still believes in the old-school cowboy way of life, but he's also part of a new generation that's about to get slammed with the Great Depression. He's trying to prove himself, trying to find his place in a world that's changing faster than ever, and honestly, that struggle is exactly what makes him such an interesting character. But the Duttons aren't just a family, they're a legacy, and 1923 makes sure we see just how high the stakes were for them. What 1923 really wants to show us. Now, let's get real. 1923 isn't just about cowboys, cattle, and shootouts, though. Let's be honest, those are pretty great. This show is here to give us a raw, unfiltered look at what survival really meant back in the day. The world wasn't just changing, it was turning upside down for many. First off, let's talk about the Duttons because, well, they're the heart of this whole thing. The government is tightening its grip, money is drying up, and people are getting desperate. The cattle business isn't just hard, it's absolutely brutal. And when you mix in land disputes with sheep herders who are just as determined as the Duttons, oh, you know things are going to get ugly. And then there's Tiona Rainwater's story, which might just be one of the most gut-wrenching parts of the entire show. We see her trapped in a horrific boarding school where she faces abuse that's almost unbearable to watch. But here's the thing. Her story isn't just some side plot. It's a reminder of the real history that so many Native American people endured. It's raw, it's heartbreaking, and it's a part of 1923 that makes you stop and really think. Now, let's talk some more about Spencer, because this man is going through it. If you thought fighting World War I was bad, try surviving the trauma while dodging lions in Africa and dealing with the mess back home. His storyline is more than just an action-packed adventure, it's a deep dive into the mental scars that war leaves behind. No matter how far he runs, the past follows him, and now he's got to face it head on. So yeah, 1923 gives us everything we love about the Duttons. Power struggles, epic battles, and enough family drama to keep us hooked. But it's also telling a much bigger story. It's about survival in a world that's changing way too fast. It's about real history, real struggles, and the fight to hold on to what matters most. And if there's one thing we know about the Duttons, they never go down without a fight. At the end of the day, 1923 isn't just another prequel, but think of it as a missing puzzle piece from the Dutton saga. So buckle up, folks, and get ready for more intense drama. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and like for more fun content, and do comment below how you think this series will unfold. Who's your favorite Dutton so far? And what twists are you expecting next?